Jimmy Orange. Naranjo, right? I guess it, right?
That is correct.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time once again to meet our community, the Hispanic business community here in Orange County. Powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio. Streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center. And today, well, we've got somebody special with us. Maybe you already know him. One of them's John Gutierrez. Everybody knows him.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Paul and OC Talk Radio. Welcome, folks, again to our community podcast show powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Senior Vice President John Gutierrez here. We have another great community leader and superstar guest on our show. He's a longtime ambassador of our chamber. In fact, he will be awarded the Ambassador of the Year at our Estrella Awards next month, April 22nd. Many of you attend this gala that we host. And not only that, but he's been serving the community for 20 years. We also know him from the Santa Broker Preview with Thomas and Felix and the guys over there. And he's also now a very well-informed, educated, trusted mortgage advisor with Arbor Financial Group. Who's helping people in our community to accomplish their American dream of home ownership. Launching their 20% down payment assistance program, the Cal HFA, with the $25,000 grant program for closing costs, which we'll go into that with Justin Casares, who's also here with him. For 25 years, he's been in the industry, and he's also a trusted mortgage advisor. They call him the Mortgage Master, and he'll be joining us shortly here. Jimmy, thank you for being here. We really appreciate everything you're doing in the community.
Thank you so much, John. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I'm really happy, excited.
Well, we want to thank you, Jimmy, for everything you do here at the Orange County Hispanic Chamber. You've always been somebody that anytime we needed help with anything, you've always been there to volunteer. And so we want to congratulate you first and foremost for being awarded the Ambassador of the Year award this year.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to me. That's in my blood. There is a saying that has no translation, but my mom used to say, "El que no vive para servir no sirve para vivir." I can put that in English.
You know what? I love that and again, you're from Colombia, right?
That is correct.
And we want to get into a little bit of that, but I love that our culture, from our parents, our grandparents, there's a lot of great sayings, right? I always mention the one, una mano no se lava sola, that my dad would always say. What one hand cannot wash itself, right? We need each other to work with each other, right? And help each other out. And let's go into a little bit about you, and we're going to go into the business and the chamber. Tell us a little bit about, growing up. What was it like in Colombia, and what brought you to the States?
Well, back in Colombia, I'm from Cali, Colombia. It's the capital of salsa music. So
Yes.
our culture is all about dancing and having fun. I was in Colombia, never had on my expectations to come to US. Always working in sales over there. Was after my bachelor degree as a business administrator, I was doing an specialization on marketing. And one of the requirements is that I needed to pass a test for English. And I didn't know English at all. I was not good at it. So at that time, economy in Colombia was bad, 27% unemployment ratio. The company that I was working for, it was basically going out of business. And then at that time, I said, I'm going to go to US to take an English course and learn how to speak English in 6 months, and I will be back. And then when I came here, that sense of opportunity, I just decided to stay here and convince my wife to sell everything in Colombia and come with me.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that like when you said that to your wife?
She was disbelieved. She says, how come you're saying this if you have been there just for a few weeks? And I think I was a good salesperson, so I convinced her.
first and foremost, you're a great salesperson. I've seen you at work. I mean, you got skills. And would
Thank
you
you.
say you learned this from just growing up in Colombia, from your father, from a family member? Where did you picked up these skills? Because these are important skills.
Yeah, I think that is in my family. My father was in sales all his life also, even though he's a theater teacher, but he had the opportunity to be working in sales, and I was surrounded by it. And my desire was to work in sales. I really like it. I consider myself a people person, and the good thing is that I always choose to represent a product that is going to have a value. So I have that feeling in my heart that I'm really helping the person that I'm selling. So I'm not selling.
Yes. One of my mentors said once to me, you're not a salesperson. You're not a salesman. You're a problem solver, right? And I've always seen you that way, Jimmy. You're always solving problems. You're always helping people. And that's great that you say that, because that's one of the reasons why I think the board, the committee, when they decided to, vote on who was going to be the ambassador of the year, your name came up because you were always there to help us solve problems. You're always there to give us a hand. And that says a lot about who you are as a person. So you told
Thank
your
you.
wife this, right? And so you decided to come to the States, right? And from my understanding, you have children, right? Also, so
Yeah,
shout out
yeah.
to your wife and your kids.
Yeah, my two kids were born here, so 18 and 21. So I came here in 1999.
Okay.
And it's been a magical experience. So I thought I was gonna take 6 months to learn English, and I'm still working on it.
It's okay. You're doing great. And you're welcome to say anything in Spanish anytime. It's okay. I mean, we are the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, so podemos hablar español también poquito. No hay problema.
Gracias. Thank you.
So you're in the States, and obviously you eventually, I'm assuming, found a love for helping people, making a difference. How did you end up in what you're doing today?
Yeah. Well, when I decided to stay, right? So I was working on my English, and I was first job. I have to see, humble. In first job that I had was physical type of job, right? So, but at some point I didn't want that for myself. I was working painting houses, which is
Yeah,
respectful and
of course. I have a brother who does that. He loves paint, and he paints airplanes and cars and everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have a career, and I knew sales was my fastest way to progress in this country. So I started working for companies that sells products to the Hispanic community. So that was my first experience, basically selling computers door to door in LA areas, Hispanic areas.
That's not easy.
Not
Selling
easy.
door to door, right? Knocking on doors.
No, it's a tough work. So basically, obviously, at some given point, I found a different company that I was able to grow with the company. Started as a telemarketer, and at the end, I was a branch manager managing 160 people on the phones, and that was a great process for me in my learning process.
Yes.
I think that was a great experience, and I always wanted to find a product that delivered a value. So back in 2004, I started doing mortgage before the crash. And then, that's...
Well, I think it's interesting what you just said. I always like to kind of make the whole full circle connection. You said you came to this country to learn English, and eventually you were put in a manager director role to oversee 160 people who are literally on the phone, right? I mean, that's the American dream. That's pretty amazing that you were given that responsibility. It goes to show the skills you have, right? Because obviously you were mentoring them, teaching them, right, how to do this over the phone.
That is correct, and always I try to give more than what I take. So, and the reason why they gave me the opportunity, or there, just to give you an example, I was there. I had a job, just get on the phone and talking to people, but I noticed so many people were discouraged. They were frustrated. It's a hard sell. So I started bringing like motivational stories and helping my teammates to lift them up and get them in a better mode so they could have fun working in a better performance. And when they saw that I was doing that and that was not part of my job, they just gave me the opportunity to start mentoring people and training people and teaching them how to sell and all that. But it's always the start was you trying to give more than what you take. Is trying to run that extra mile for other people. So just basically that's my basically the difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person is that extraordinary person will do an extra job that the ordinary person is never gonna do.
Exactly.
And I live my life like that. I just try to give an extra mile.
And you know what?
All the
Before
time.
we bring in Justin here in a short minute here, with Trusted Mortgage Advisors here with Arbor Financial Group, I just want to say that, when you came to the chamber, what did you like? What did you enjoy? Why have you been so obviously connected with us? We appreciate all you're doing with us, but let's let the listeners know, what is it that you enjoyed?
Well, definitely, I always like to be part of a noble cause. So when I was invited, because a friend of mine connected me with Carlos Barahona, and when he told me about the organization, I just fall in love. First of all, I was going to have the opportunity to meet with entrepreneurs. That's a good opportunity for me to do more business, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, I saw that all the funds that we raise here are used to help the youth,
Exactly. Our youth chamber.
right?
Yes.
Get these kids
Scholarships. Yes.
scholarships.
Yes.
That's an old cause. So that's what definitely get me engaged.
Yes. Because you've
Because-
been to our golf tournaments.
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time that I'm doing everything through the chamber, I'm having fun, I'm meeting people, and I know I'm helping someone. So that's beautiful for me.
The ultimate networking event.
Yeah. What
right?
else you could ask for?
Exactly, exactly. Well, again, folks, we're here with Jaime Naranjo, aka Jimmy Orange, is what people call him, right? But again, he's one of our ambassadors he's been with us almost 7 years, but he's been 20 years serving our community. He is now, of course, in the industry of as a trusted mortgage advisor with Arbor Financial Group, which is helping people in our community to accomplish their American dream of home ownership. And they have a great program right now that's going out there. That's 20% down payment. It's an assistant program that also there's programs where you're getting $25,000 grants for closing costs. And we're going to bring in Justin here, who's also part of this whole operation at Arbor Financial Group. He is also known as El Jefe and Mortgage Master. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to bring in Justin Casares.
Whoa, a new digital music player. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, because I can't wait to toss the big stereo. And now that we got your dad that big HD TV he wanted, we can throw out our old TV too.
Hold up. You can't just throw out electronics.
Really?
They need to be recycled or donated.
And how would we do that?
It's so easy, Mom. Today, recycling electronics is just as easy as buying them. GreenerGadgets.org has all the info. We just enter our zip code to find a certified recycling center nearby. There are thousands of them, and new ones are being added all the time. Some of our local stores are even certified recycling locations.
I like that.
Did you know that some of the stuff in our old electronics could be used to make new products and conserve natural resources?
Well, okay then. Let's gather them up. What was that website again?
GreenerGadgets.org. We just enter our zip code and go.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. It has no cure. Parkinson's is not limited to how a person moves. It can also cause symptoms like depression, fatigue, and impaired speech. Today, there is a new diagnosis every 9 minutes, though Parkinson's can be present for years before being diagnosed. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure. For more than 50 years, APDA has funded pioneering research and provided critical support to those affected by Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
All right, with that, let's toss it back to the studio here and John Gutierrez.
Thank you, Paul.
There we go.
Thank you, Paul. Welcome everybody back to the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, our community podcast show here. And with us today, we have Jaime Naranjo, aka Jimmy Orange, who's a longtime ambassador of our chamber here, and he will also be awarded the Estrella Awards at the Estrella Awards Ambassador of the Year on April 22nd. We invite everybody to join us. It's a great gala. And so with us also today now joining us is Justin Casares, who's 25 years in the trusted mortgage industry as an advisor. He's also known as the Mortgage Master. Right, Justin?
That's right, John.
Welcome. Thank you for being on the show. I think that today is very important, that we share, obviously, what is going on in the market and how we can help the community, obviously, be able to purchase a home. And so share with us a little bit, Justin, here. I know you and Jimmy are out there helping a lot of families.
Yeah, that's right, John. And first of all, I just want to say thanks. It's an honor to be here and very excited. So obviously what we do is we're mortgage lenders. I get asked a lot, Justin, what do you do for work? And I could say, hey, I'm a loan officer, I'm a lender. Really what my answer is, I help make dreams come true. So the big focus with myself, Jimmy, and Arbor Financial Group is not just closing a loan because it's a file, a piece of paper, or a paycheck. Sure, that's how we, make a living. That's how we put food on the table. But really, at the end of the day, it's helping our community achieve wealth through home ownership. So that's what our job's all about, and that's what's it makes it so rewarding is when we get to hand the keys to our valued client. And a lot of the clients we work with are first-time buyers generally. So this is something that can change their life, their children's life forever.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before the show. How wealth management is such a key word in your industry, right? To be able to help start that domino effect of hoping to help these families build on that. And I know you were sharing with us a story of someone who recently you guys were able to help. Can you share with us that story?
Yeah, I love to. And that's a lot of what we do is we like to give real world examples of what are we actually doing, how are we helping people. So a good example is we closed a transaction, a loan, probably a couple months ago. So it was a single mother. The property was in Anaheim. She was a first-time buyer. So my realtor I work with connected with me or say, can you give her a call? So when I talked to the lady, she was not very excited, motivated. Basically, within her work, all she had heard from her coworkers was horror stories of, hey, I just went through the loan process. It was a nightmare, just a lot of negative energy. So her realtor said, hey, make one more call, give Jimmy a call, give it one more shot. So long story short, again, it was a single mother, 2 children. She never ever thought she'd be able to own a home. We were able to get her in a house. We got it closed. And even better is one of the, the biggest things we're offering right now is, as you mentioned, John, is there's a grant that gives up to $25,000 to the buyer, which is for closing costs and buying down the interest rate to make that payment more affordable. And I really think it goes back to the community because the house they're buying has to be in an area that's at least 50% of minorities living there. It's census tract info, so it really helps encourage people to to purchase homes, become homeowners, and revitalize the community. So it's very important to us. But getting back to this story, is what really hit home for me is after we closed escrow, I always make a note to go visit them personally. So I went to the house on a random Saturday, and so out comes the client, just the biggest smile on her face. But really what touched my heart is she has 2 kids. They came out, they thanked me. I've never talked to them, never seen them. They were so thankful of me being part of the process to help their mother purchase a house. And really the coolest part is the daughters had always shared a room. They were sharing a room. They didn't have a big apartment before. And the daughters were so excited that now they get to have their own room. They get it decorated. So just to see this smile on these little girls' faces, that's really this is why we do what we do.
I think that's a very important point. You were going to say something, Jamie.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
actually, yeah, that's something that we share. For me, that aspect is more gratifying than making the money. So that has more value to me than the money.
Yes.
Money is a secondary thing, but just the fact that we could tell we helped this family to accomplish the American dream, that's
Well,
beautiful.
And it says a lot about, again, who you are, Jimmy, and obviously Justin, you guys working together, helping families. And again, this is why we have you on the show, because this is called the Our Community Podcast Show, of course, powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And it's about what's going on in our community. How can we make a difference? How can we help the community? What kind of resources can we provide, right? What kind of vital information can we give the community? And again, you just mentioned there's a $25,000 grant program out there right now, right? That's going to help you with closing costs, right? It is owner occupied. You mentioned that, right? But that's why they have to get a hold of you and just not be afraid, right? Get a hold of you. How do they reach you guys? Where do they call you? Where do they follow you on social media? Please, for our listeners.
Yeah, so as far as social media on Instagram, I am, as John said, The Mortgage Master, so you can find me there. And then Jimmy?
Jimmy Orange in Facebook.
Jimmy Orange on Facebook and Instagram, right?
And my website is JimmyOrangeLoans.
Okay, JimmyOrangeLoans.com. JimmyOrangeLoans.com. And again, guys, we're here. Everybody listening, we're with trusted mortgage advisors here with Arbor Financial Group. What is Arbor Financial Group's website? If you guys don't mind sharing that, is that a good website for people to also go find
so
it?
the corporate one would be www.arborfinancialgroup.com. Jimmy mentioned his. Mine is justincasadas.com.
Okay.
And I think what's also important is our office is right here, local in Santa Ana. So we're in the community, and that's where we love doing business and helping people achieve that American dream of home ownership.
Yeah, and again, folks, for those of you listening, I think the most important thing here is, Jimmy and Justin, what they're saying is don't be afraid. Do not let the negativity of everything out there going on, people about the recession, and obviously it is tough financially for a lot of people, but you cannot be afraid to take that jump, because at the end of the day, you have advisors like these gentlemen here that can help you with any questions or concerns you may have. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to, like you said, make that last phone call. Don't be afraid to reach out to you guys. Now, there's always programs like these happening, right? There's always change. So that's why it's important to keep connecting with you guys, because there's always different programs evolving and changing. I say this because I'm always at the Santa Broker Preview with, again, Felix and Thomas there. Right. And I'm always hearing this from all of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is there is a ton of down payment assistance programs available right now. At the preview today, we heard a speaker that there's more coming. So I think what I would leave everyone with is, John hit it perfect, is, as I mentioned, we work with a lot of first-time buyers. They typically start out very scared, nervous in the beginning. Again, the day that comes, they get the keys to the new house. Almost all the time their comment is, Justin, Jimmy, is, I don't know what took me so long to do this. I was so scared. You guys made it so easy. I'm just really happy. And, they're like, I'm so glad that I took that leap to call, to reach out, to find out what opportunities or programs are available to me. So don't be scared. Again, American dream is home ownership. That's what's going to help build wealth in our community and a legacy for your family. So don't be scared. See what your options are, and you're probably going to be pretty surprised of what you can achieve.
I heard this quote the other day somewhere. I saw it. It's just a little simple quote. It says, faith over fear, right? And I thought, how cool is that? I mean, you got to have faith in the people that are there that are trying to help you, right? And again, folks, have faith in, 25 years you've been doing this, right, Justin? I mean, you probably have heard it all, seen it all.
I've seen it all and done it all.
Yes, right? So don't be afraid, because again, the value of owning a home, it goes back to being able to leverage other things that eventually you're going to buy, and therefore will hopefully give you a better interest rate, being in a car or whatever else you're going to buy, right?
Correct, exactly.
It's helping build that wealth, right?
Yeah, that is correct. And one thing is that sometimes people, they think that they're not ready yet, and many times we give them the good surprise. No, you're ready. We are able to structure everything for them to make them qualify, obviously. But even if they're not ready yet, at least the opportunity for them to talk to us, we could coach them and tell them what they need to do to get to the point.
So if somebody that's listening right now or watching this video says, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith, I'm going to do this, what happens? What is the process? Like, they call you, and then what happens next? What let's just share a little bit of that process.
Yeah.
For those of you that are listening, have never purchased a home, right?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, every situation is different, but typically it starts with a simple phone call. So they'll call us. I think really what's key with us is not rushing them into a loan, but education. That's really what we focus on, is educating that client on what it means not to just do a loan, but the entire process of buying a house. But to answer your question, so typically it's a fun consultation. Nowadays with technology, pretty much everyone applies online, upload their paperwork here and there. Again, because we do service quite a bit of the Hispanic community, a lot of that is meeting face to face. So you can usually find myself and Jimmy even on the weekends. We're meeting families in the office. Last weekend I was there meeting families. So really what we do, it's whatever's most convenient for the client, not what most convenient for us.
That's great, because you're also, again, working with the Hispanic community, being bilingual. That's huge, right? Because again, for these families, there's that fear factor. The person I'm working with, do I trust them? Are they going to tell me the truth, or are they not? Or is this just, they're lying to me or whatever? You said many families feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
From what they hear from friends, right?
Right. And I would just kind of piggyback what Jimmy said, is I think really what kind of makes us unique and kind of stand out is we treat every client the same. So we might have someone buying a mobile home, maybe someone's buying a big house on the coast. But what we always tell clients is everyone is equally important to us. And just like Jimmy said, is not every buyer is going to fit that perfect box to qualify for the loan for day one. And the sad truth is a lot of, other lenders is, if that client doesn't fit that box and they can't close that deal now, they move on to the next client. We do not operate that way. We'll say, hey, you're 80% there, but we need to work on the credit, or maybe it's your debt. So like Jimmy said, it's, if they don't qualify now, let's put a plan in place to make them qualify. And even if it takes 6 months, those are the most appreciative people in the world, because you stuck with them when other lenders moved on to the next person. And, that's what makes us fulfilling at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I can see Jimmy, he's kind of quiet today. He's so humble, right? But for those of you that don't know Jimmy, man, he's like, I guess the old Johnny on the spot, but let's just call it Jimmy on the spot. You need anything, Jimmy's ready to go, right?
Definitely. Yes.
And working with some of these families, that must hit home for you, right, Jimmy? Because obviously coming from Colombia, I know you own a home now, right? And your family's here. That must fulfill that like, wow, this was me at one point in my life.
That is correct. And that's so fulfilling to me. And that's why I'm passionate about working especially with first-time buyers. Because basically what I tell them is what I did.
Exactly.
Basically, I share my story, I share my experience with them, and I give them advice, and I will help them to accomplish the same thing that I have accomplished. So, and that build trust and
Yeah, and trust is everything, right? Like we talked about that. Well, folks, we have to close it up here. The producer, Mr. Paul Roberts, is giving me the stinky eye already, right, Paul? And again, I want to thank Justin for being here today. Casares, 25 years, in the trusted mortgage industry as an advisor, aka the Mortgage Master. You can find him on his social media on Instagram, and of course, we also want to say thank you again to Jaime Naranjo, who we know as Jimmy Orange, a longtime ambassador of us for us here at the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We want to thank you and again congratulate you for, of course, you're going to be receiving the Estrella Awards, Ambassador of the Year Award. And so we're going to see you in a tuxedo, right?
that is correct. And actually, I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank you, my mentor here, Justin, because that's the way I appreciate. Justin is always been my mentor in this industry, and I'm very grateful.
Thank you
we're
for that, Justin.
Going on this journey together.
Yes, we really appreciate you being here today. We appreciate you guys coming out. Again, folks, if you're looking to buy a house first time or whatever it may be, your second or third home, definitely reach out to Justin or Jimmy, and they're here to help you. Faith over fear, like I said. Don't be scared, right, Justin?
That's exactly right.
And if not, leave a comment, and we'll connect you with them. And folks, we'll see you next Wednesday. Don't forget, April 22nd is our Estrella Awards. Follow us, the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, through our social media at OCHCC. Again, that's OCHCC on Instagram and on Facebook under Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, folks. We'll see you all soon. Thank you, Paul. Take it away.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. One more reason to tune in each and every time to meet our community. The Hispanic business community here in Orange County, powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio. Streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Law Innovation Center.